Are you missing your Pesach hotel desserts by any chance? Have you ever been to a hotel on Pesach? Especially the ones in Israel. I don't know, maybe probably the ones in like Palm Beach and Miami. They have this like incredible spread of decadent Pesach desserts. And you're like, how do they do that? Seriously, like what is the alchemy? What is the magic? I'm gonna show you. And also I'm gonna tell you, it is the simplest, the easiest thing you can make. It's just a combination of 3 of my easiest recipes into one. And that's what pastry chefs do. They combine very, very basic recipes into one, and it's the combination that coming together that makes them spectacular. So what we're gonna start with for our decadent chocolate Pesach dessert is my very simple, very honest, very easy chocolate brownies. So it's in the prep. That's what you need. The prep is what's important. So what I did here is I have a springform pan and I've like super duper lined it, because what's interesting about these desserts is how they look. It's about appearance, but we're gonna make it about flavor as well. So for our brownies, and you can make this in a regular like 8-inch square brownie type tin and just serve them as brownies, which is also pretty spectacular. I have here melted chocolate. You can melt it with margarine, butter, or coconut oil. Regular like vegetable oil really doesn't work here. So any of those, margarine, butter, or coconut oil. So it's 250 grams of like the best chocolate you could get a hold of. That's like 2.5 bars, people. And that's where the secret lies. Get the best chocolate you can. So for our gorgeous chocolate Pesach gorgeous dessert cake, it is a layer of brownie with a layer of mousse and a layer of glaze. And then if you want to like really go over the top, some decoration. Into this, I'm putting 15 grams of cocoa powder and 250 grams of sugar. And let's give that all a mix. And it really is. This is my chocolate brownie for Pesach. It is that simple. Hold on, we've got 3 more ingredients to go in. We're going in with 1 egg at a time. And I think of my sister-in-law, Tamara, often when I make any chocolate desserts. Tamara loves chocolate. And some of my fondest Pesach memories is being together with our families, celebrating Pesach, especially when the kids were little and everyone just having the best time. So again, it's always, in this brownie's case, 1 egg at a time. You really want to mix it in. And the reason I really think of Tamara in this case, in this recipe, is because she's a fan of the 1 bowl recipe. You know, the fewer bowls to wash up, the better. And it's chocolate. And it's easy. All of these bowls that I have here is because I wanted to weigh out things before we filmed. And 1 more egg. And really, brownies on Pesach, it's like a requirement. For those of you who use the like brownie box mix, those are pretty good too. But now that I've shown you how simple it is to make your own, attempt it. And 1 more, and we're almost good to go. We have got, and you could see we're already getting that gorgeous brownie texture that we're after. Check that out. How beautiful is that? And now our second to last ingredient is 100 grams of ground almonds. That's going to give our brownie a little bit of substance. And a pinch of salt. That's it. All right, this is gonna go into my prepared tin. It's gonna bake for 20 minutes because we still want some gooiness inside. And once it cools, We're gonna continue with step 2 of our Decadent Pesach chocolate dessert that's gonna be super impressive to look at, but more importantly, delicious. Oh my goodness, I cannot wait for this. All right, oh my goodness, so my brownie is out of the oven. Check that out, and it's cooled down. So we're ready for layer 2, which is our chocolate mousse. So what I have here, it's hot, it's chocolate melting, and to that I'm gonna add 3 tablespoons of coffee. So 1, 2, and I can see things are dropping the other side. I'm accounting for that. 3 tablespoons of coffee. I am gonna drink the rest of that. Coffee is not going to waste in this house, promise. So we're gonna give it a mix, and our chocolate is melting. A couple of weeks ago when I made my 5-minute chocolate cake on Facebook Live, one of you recommended add coffee instead of water to your cake. That's a great tip. I love it. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, and I don't mind that it's getting a little bit grainy. That's okay. It's gonna keep on melting. Yay! Okay, into my bowl, I'm adding 3 egg yolks. The whites are reserved. And to that, I am adding 3 tablespoons of coffee liqueur, Kosher Pesach coffee liqueur. Obviously, use whatever liqueur you want to, or none at all. If you're not going to use any, that's cool. I've done it with orange liqueur, I've done it with brandy, whatever I can get my hands on. And I'm going to whisk those together. I'm going to turn off the heat on my bain-marie. Did I say that right? Bain-marie? I don't do French very well. You can also do it in the microwave, but when you add the coffee to the melted chocolate in the microwave, sometimes it does burn. All right, let me add my chocolate to my egg yolk and chocolate liqueur mix. Oh my goodness. So this is my go-to chocolate mousse. I use it all the time. I have an amazing, amazing recipe for a layered chocolate mousse. So the bottom layer is an orange jelly or jello, depending where you're from. And the top layer is this chocolate mousse. And in that, I use an orange liqueur in the mousse. So that is my egg yolks and my chocolate liqueur and melted chocolate and coffee together. Yes. All right. In my mixer, I've got egg whites, which I've whipped up. And to them, I'm going to add brown sugar, a little bit at a time, until I get some nice stiff peaks. So we're going in a teaspoon at a time. And for those of you who thought that you only get that meringue thing with white sugar, you can use brown as well. And what it's going to do is going to give my mousse a richer flavor. I really want depth in my chocolate mousse. And another spoonful. Yay! So this dessert is going to be so gorgeous and so decadent and perfect for our new normal Seder. And I know it's a big dessert for 4 people, but we will manage. Do not worry about us. We will finish that chocolate dessert. Check it out, Merengue Peaks. We're ready to put that in. I'm actually going to take my whisk. So what I'm starting with is just a little bit, do you see, just a drop of meringue, and that's going to loosen up my chocolate. So I'm not too worried about deflating all the air from that meringue I put in, because that's going to loosen up the chocolate mix and make it totally ready for the rest of the meringue. So here we go. The rest of the meringue is going in. Yay! I really am. I mean, I know I get excited about food, but knowing that this is how we plan on ending our Seder, what could be better? Seriously, what could be better than this? So I'm gonna fold the meringue in, and the way to fold it is like kind of making the figure 8 over and over, and you know when you're done when there's just no white streaks left. So we're almost done. As you could see, the chocolate is lightening and the white streaks are disappearing. Yeah. And those little lumps you see in there are actually lumps of egg whites, which, though they don't taste bad in any way, isn't really what you're after. And here we go, layered dessert. This chocolate mousse mix is going straight onto my brownie base. And this is now gonna go into the fridge for the next 5 to 6 hours. I want it to be totally set before we add the chocolate glaze to the top of this and like really put that finishing decadent touch on our chocolate decadent Pesach dessert. So this is gonna go into the fridge, it's gonna set up, and then we're gonna top it. Oh my goodness, cannot wait. So a really fancy chocolate Pesach dessert that still doesn't have a name, but we'll get there, has been in the fridge. The bottom layer we baked this morning. It's a very simple brownie. The next layer is our simple chocolate mousse. And our last layer is our very simple chocolate glaze. So the chocolate mousse is nice and solid. This is so exciting. We're gonna have a fancy, like, restaurant, hotel style Pesach chocolate mousse cake. Oh my goodness, so exciting. Or chocolate dessert, chocolate mousse cake, because chocolate mousse cake is a thing. It's chocolate mousse that you bake. This is not that. This is a brownie topped with chocolate mousse, topped with chocolate glaze, straight in the fridge, and then we'll decorate, and I'll show you pictures, but try this at home. You will love it. Hi everyone, oh my goodness. So it's been about 12 hours since we glazed our decadent Pesach super simple chocolate dessert, which still doesn't have a name. Oh my goodness. It does have some of these like air bubbles. In my rush to like get this done, I may have added the chocolate glaze when it was still a little too hot. Next time, wait a little bit longer, Ilana. Or like me, do the finishing touches, which no one will know about the little like crevices. No, they're little craters, not crevices. All right, so the way to make this into a restaurant, hotel style Pesach dessert is all in the presentation. So open up the spring form. The moment of truth arrives. There we go. And this is where that forward planning comes into play. Yeah. And I'll show you. Some of the glaze is coming off, that's okay, but check that out. Yes. So last phase, how to take this cake from my little craters. By the way, the craters are not putting me off at all, to like show stopping. Tip number 1, just cover it with strawberries. Seriously, who can resist a chocolate covered dessert with strawberries? If though, you're like, no, chocolate, take a chocolate bar, leave the aluminum foil on, and just with a peeler, start shaving. That will cover up all the craters. And all of a sudden you have like a restaurant style, patisserie chef worthy, Pesach ready dessert just with a peeler. Yes, you can make chocolate curls if you have that skill. Seriously, go for it. You could take other Pesach pralines and chocolate and break it on top of the cake. Also amazing. But the easiest thing you can do is take a peeler to a chocolate bar. The reason for the aluminum foil is because as I'm holding the chocolate, it is heating up and melting. So this will prevent it from melting too much. If wherever you are is like warm and it's melting, stick the chocolate bar in the freezer for a few minutes and then keep on going. So that is our decadent, that's what we're calling it, decadent Pesach chocolate dessert. Simplest thing in the world are Pesach brownies covered by our classic chocolate mousse with our super simple glaze and a shaving of chocolate on top. How easy was that? Check it out. Do it yourselves. Have a beautiful Pesach filled with chocolate. See you soon.